decomposition doesn't have the power to break it apart completely. Instead, it sinks to the bottom, partially decomposed, and still full of a lot of its carbon and energy. Well, in the late Jurassic period, the Earth was covered in swamps and shallow seas, and so carbon drained out of the carbon cycle. It formed huge reservoirs of undecomposed organic material full of carbon and energy. The carbon cycle was off balance. Eventually, circumstances would change and the carbon cycle would right itself again, but there was less carbon to go around, and so the carbon cycle had to evolve to a world of less carbon, and that takes about 100,000 years. In the meantime, all of the carbon in those reservoirs slowly sank into the Earth, where heat and pressure transformed it into coal, oil, and natural gas.
Oh no. I seen something happen with the stream, and I had to restart it. Okay? Because I know that I know this word has to be forced. But for some reason, it's got to come out. So, as the truth is being unveiled, hold on. Let's go back over there. In fact, now I could go into the history. Oh, there we go. Yep, right there. Troll Trump.
Okay, so AOC was obvious.
No. Let's get this right.
Getting rid of fossil fuel is not going to solve the problem fast enough. A Swedish professor saying that we can eat dead people, but that's not fast enough. So I think your next campaign slogan has to be this: we got to start eating babies. We don't have enough time. There's too much CO2. All of you're a pollutant. So we have to get rid of the babies. That's a big problem. Just stopping having babies is not enough. We need to eat the babies. This is very serious. Please give a response.
She said stop having babies is not enough. We are running out of time. We have to eat the babies. We have to eat babies. This is what the lady was saying. But before that, because somebody was saying, before that, someone was saying, hold on. Yeah. Before that, somebody was saying, before that, she was saying that a Swedish scientist was promoting that we have to eat dead flesh, which he was, okay? We'll try to get to him, but if we can't, you can always go on YouTube. You can always go on Google, and you can Google Swedish scientist promotes eating dead flesh to save climate, okay?
Getting rid of fossil fuel is not going to solve the problem fast enough. A Swedish professor saying that we can eat dead people, but that's not fast enough. So I think your next campaign slogan has to be this: we got to start eating babies. We don't have enough time. There's too much CO2.
Somebody says she was a troll. Some people said she was put up to this and paid to do this. This lady looks like she may be one of the people that sponsored her and paid her and gave her some money so she can do this, because she's the only one smiling amidst the crowd. This one looks pretty intrigued, like she's interested in doing such, and eating babies. Eating babies. Eating babies. Okay? Now we're being promoted cannibalism. A Swedish scientist said to save the climate that we should start eating dead flesh. She's saying that to save the planet, we should eat babies. And she didn't say we should stop having babies. We should stop having babies. She didn't say that. She said we need to eat babies. And it's on her shirt, okay? So this is what's being promoted now, cannibalism. So if you think Soylent Green isn't here, and if you think that we're not already eating babies due to stem cells coming from Planned Parenthoods and fetal tissue and Sentinel mix and additives, and in flavor additives and enhancers and stuff like that, we're already eating aborted fetuses and stem cells. But this lady saying to save the climate, the temperature of the earth, we need to start eating the babies. Not stop having babies, but eating babies. Now, as you look outside at your sun right now, and it's blaring off all types of energy and all kinds of UV radiation, do you think that eating any kind of corpses is going to help this situation? It is irreversible. I'm sorry.
You're a pollutant. So we have to get rid of.
See, now that's what I was saying too. In X-Men Apocalypse and in Godzilla, they both said, I could love you like I love a newfound bacteria. That's what they said in X-Men Apocalypse. They was talking about humans. Then in Godzilla, she said humans have become a bacteria to the planet. What is this lady saying? They said that this is a Trump troll. What did she say though? She said, you're a pollutant. You're letting off carbon. Hold on, check it.
Getting rid of fossil fuel is not going to solve the problem fast enough. A Swedish professor saying that we can eat dead people, but that's not fast enough. So I think your next campaign slogan has to be this: we got to start eating babies. We don't have enough time. There's too much CO2. All of you're a pollutant. So we have to get rid of the babies.
Now she got the same accent as Greta. Remember Greta? She said, you lied to me with your fairy tales of eternal economic growth. Remember? So they're all coming from Sweden. They're all coming from that region. All right? And they're telling you what? Her skin, if you look at the video in its entirety, her skin looks like she's already eaten a few dead babies. Because you lose your pigment when you start eating dead flesh. Now look at the chick that was holding. She would have said, security. She would have said, excuse me, miss, sit down. What are you doing? She's sitting there looking intrigued. Like, this lady seems worried. Now, she's going to tell you some BS in this next segment. She's going to tell you, oh, well, it's not that cataclysmic. But she also held a Instagram stream right after this, and she said the same thing that this girl's saying. So check it out. And it's in the New York Post. A Swedish scientist is now saying to save the climate, we should start eating dead flesh. So if you think that Soylent Green isn't real, and if you're possibly thinking about trying the Impossible Burger, then go ahead. But I'm letting you know now, Soylent Green's happening. The ocean, the plankton is dying, okay? And now they're promoting cannibalism. In a 1976 film, okay? That's when they told us this. And now it's actually happening.
Big problem. Just stopping having babies is not enough. We need to eat.
She said, stopping having babies isn't enough. We have to eat the babies. What kind of sick protest is this? But somebody told me I was living in fear. Somebody told me I was just promoting fear, propaganda, okay? They told me that I was promoting a fantasy. That's what they told me. But meanwhile, this is actually happening. This can be an actual reality, okay?
Eat the babies. This is very serious. Please give a response.
Oh, cringe. Really hard.
Now this chick don't know nothing, but watch what she says. She says, oh, this was a troll. This was a Trump troll, and they didn't know nothing. Meanwhile, what she said was actual evidence. There's a scientist from Sweden that promotes us eating dead meat.
To watch, in case that wasn't obvious enough, that is not a person who is speaking authentically. That is a Trump troll trying to get Representative Ocasio-Cortez to...
Told you. See? Now, she's in a state of cognitive dissonance. She believes that this is all a lie. Meanwhile, you can go to the New York Post. You can even Google Sweden scientist promotes cannibalism. And the articles will pop up. There's a whole bunch of articles. So if I'm promoting living in fear, and if this is fake news, if you're so much against fake news, then you should be against a fiat currency, and you should be against digital cryptocurrency, because those are all made up by men. Those are all fiat fake currencies, okay? Monetary gains. Just like Greta said, you gave me fairy tales of eternal economic growth.
Agree with her that we should eat babies. Did it work? Well, let's find out.
We need to treat the climate crisis with the urgency.
What gets me is, how come she still didn't get the bodyguards or the security guards or something to get this chick out of here? She would have been like, yo, this person's off their rocker. Get them out of here. They cut me off. No, she said, yeah, she's right. There's a concern, but we have to do it in a medial fashion. Hold on.
This does present. Luckily, we have more than a few months. We do need to hit net zero in...
You hear her in the background? She said, no, we don't. We don't have that much time. You know why we don't have that much time? Because if the scientist is already telling us to eat dead flesh, then who's emitting carbon? Now, we're going to get into that next. Hold on.
Several years. But I think we all need to understand that there are a lot of solutions that we have. And
what's the solutions, Miss AOC, or whatever, Alexandria Cortez, or whatever? Okay, what's the solutions?
that we can pursue, and that if we act in a positive way, there's space for hope. We are never beyond hope.
Okay, now, this was 3 days ago. Now, let's go to the TED Talks. Okay, hold on, let's go to the TED Talks.
When you choose to fish with the tools of fly fishing,
oil and natural gas.
For the record, eating dead flesh is not going to stop the sun's energy from being output upon the earth. That is what's causing your climate change. It's not no pollution. It's not us breathing. It's not trees being cut down. I'm just letting you know, okay?
Change carries a lot of emotion. Guilt.
Oh, yeah, you got to hear this from the beginning. This is one of the ways that we can stop carbon, okay? Our carbon footprint. Now, mind you, this video was out for a year now. So how come we haven't made hybrid cars more affordable? Or how come we haven't tried none of these methods because we know about TED Talks. Some of us know about TED Talks. TED Talks is supposed to be like something to get the whole world to come in on, okay? A new philosophy.
Carries a lot of emotion. Guilt, anger, frustration, fear, but rarely any feelings of hope or accomplishment. And never any pride, and of course it doesn't. We're bombarded every day by images that seem to have only one conclusion. We're all just screwed.
Climate change. So when they say, oh, it's not real, no, we are warming up the planet. We are doing this to ourselves. But outside of that, the sun is now putting down extreme amounts of energy. UV radiation, okay, is now ground level. So amongst the smog, amongst the melting water, amongst the earthquakes and volcanoes, this is what else we got. So the judgments of God is befalling the planet. Declaring the kingdom of God at the bottom of your screen. All this must be changed. Money's not normal. It's not going to be in the kingdom of God. Okay?
We're screwed, and there's not a lot we can do about it.
No, hold on. Did y'all hear them? I hope you can. Did you hear them laugh?
Or accomplishment. And never any pride, and of course it doesn't. We're bombarded every day by images that seem to have only one conclusion.
Woo! Hey, that said September 2017. We are in 2019, so this was 2 years ago. But the video was put up a year after that, huh? So check it.
Screwed. We're screwed, and there's not a lot we can do about it.
They find it funny.
Scientists are telling us that we're ruining the planet. You and I are ruining the planet every day by just living our lives. They're saying that we're to blame, but it's so hard to see anything that we can do to change that. I mean, I guess there are obvious things. We could live without electricity or heat and ride a bicycle everywhere. But if everyone did that, most things in our society would have to change anyway. And where do we even start?
Hey, I got 3 bikes. I don't have no license neither. And you know what? After hearing him say that, as a man, I brag about that. I'm not helping contribute to the destruction of the planet. Now, you can have your big SUV. You can have your nice Mercedes Benz. Okay? Someone came in here and told me that they don't believe in my God. Well, sorry about your God, bro, but we need help. The planet needs help. Okay, we're tired of going through this. Gaia's tired, the sun is tired, and I'm tired. Okay, so just to let you know, we don't need cars no more. Sorry about your God, bro. Sorry about your God, bro.
Feels pretty hopeless. But I've been working on solutions to climate change for 10 years, and I'm here to tell you that it's not hopeless. We have the power to stop climate change. You and I do right now.
Tell them, we're going to stop the sun. We're going to stop all these volcanoes from erupting, okay? We're going to shut down all these factories, and we're going to reduce the carbon levels, all right? That's what he's trying to tell you, right?
I'm not talking about changing light bulbs or buying more efficient refrigerators. I mean actually stopping climate change. We have the power. We've just lost sight of our power, and in order to find it again, we need a new paradigm. We need a new perspective that shows us exactly what we can do every day to fight climate change. Now, it's going to take some work to get there. We're going to have to dig through some science, but when we come out the other side, you'll know how
No, it's not going to take no work to get there, and it's not going to take more than 2 months, okay? Because that's what the lady was saying. She's saying, we don't have that much time. We have to eat babies. That's what she said. So what sick mind would have said that, okay? Now, mind you, when he was talking about this was in September 2017, okay? We are now in 2019 of October, okay? And she said, we have to eat babies in order to lower our carbon footprint.
By 60% today. Our new perspective has 3 parts. First, we need to know about green carbon. Then we need to know about fossil carbon. And finally, we need to know about green carbon versus fossil carbon in our modern world. So let's get started. First, green carbon. Green carbon is all about carbon dioxide. And carbon dioxide gets a lot of press these days. We hear about it coming out of our tailpipes. We hear about it coming out of our smokestacks. We hear about it causing climate change. But the truth is more nuanced than that. The Earth's atmosphere has almost always contained carbon dioxide, and that's a good thing because without carbon dioxide, our planet would be a lifeless, frozen hunk of rock like Mars. We need carbon dioxide to create the natural greenhouse effect, the greenhouse effect that keeps us from freezing, and that's really important. But even more than that, we need carbon dioxide because of something called the carbon cycle. Now, the carbon cycle is the beating heart of our planet. On geologic times,
the carbon cycle is the beating heart of our planet. The Amazon rainforest was the lungs of our planet. The lungs just got burnt. How much of our carbon's in the air? Okay, just letting you know.
The carbon cycle is what sets the Earth's temperature like a thermostat. It balances the air and the rocks and the oceans and determines how hot it's going to get here. But on a day-to-day time scale, the carbon cycle is what allows complex life forms like us to exist in the first place. We wouldn't be here without the carbon cycle. And it all depends on carbon dioxide. And that's the same carbon dioxide that you're breathing out right now.
My problem with him is he's acting as if that sun has no relation on the temperature of our heat. Yay. Then if that's the case, then the carbon cycle dictates our seasons, which is bull, okay? That is bull. You know that when we move further away from the sun, it gets colder, and when we move closer, it's more towards summer. So what is he talking about? But this is how far we got, okay? But let's keep on listening because he's going to tell us how we're going to reduce our carbon. The other lady said we had to eat babies. The scientists said that we had to eat dead flesh. Now, Alexandria Cortez said that we could do it in a peaceful way. So I want to hear what this guy has to say about a peaceful way to lower our carbon.
Because we breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide, and plants do the opposite. They breathe in carbon dioxide and breathe out oxygen, and that's crucial because plants are actually building themselves molecule by molecule out of carbon dioxide in the air and the energy of the sun. Plants are literally made of air and sunlight. You can see this happening in your home every day. Every one of your houseplants is making itself molecule by molecule out of the energy coming through your windows and the air in your home. If they were making themselves out of the soil in their pots, the soil would disappear as they grow. But that doesn't happen because plants are made of air and sunlight. They're the start of the carbon cycle. Then it goes like this. First, green plants capture carbon from the atmosphere and the energy of the sun.
So all the carbon that we're releasing into the air, gas fuels or whatever, is going into the air and it's going back into the plant. Check it.
Animals eat those plants to take that carbon and energy, because animals are made out of carbon and energy of the sun too. They just take it from plants. Then other animals eat those animals, on up the food chain, till eventually an animal does not get eaten, dies naturally.
You know what? For all those that's like, yo, you talk too much. Hey, guess what? You see that sun's hitting that plant, right? Just like I said, that's what's heating up the planet. That's what's helping heat up the planet. Now, I'll say the carbon dioxide and the smoke, that's contain the energy of the sun. So that's also heating up the temperature too. But I don't believe that's what dictates the seasons or the planet. Okay? That sun does.
And then decomposition releases its carbon back into the atmosphere to start the cycle all over again. Decomposition is what balances the carbon cycle. It makes sure that the carbon that goes in comes back out again on the other side, and that it all forms a closed loop, just circulating the carbon from one side to the other. Now, there's a cycle.
Now, how is us eating decomposing humans or flesh actually helping the ecosystem or helping us in the long term? Because what is that doing to our genetics once you start becoming cannibalistic? Okay?
Decomposition is what balances the carbon cycle. It makes sure that the carbon that goes in comes back out again on the other side, and that it all forms a closed loop, just circulating the carbon from one side to the other. Now, there's a cycle like this that happens in the oceans. There's a cycle like this that happens in the soil. All of this carbon I call green carbon. Green carbon is the carbon that's supposed to be here. It's the carbon of living things. It's the carbon...
Woo! What did I tell you? All technology is being removed from the planet. Everything is being done away with that is not natural to the earth. So guess what? What did he just say? The carbon that we have is supposed to be here. But then there's unnatural carbons. Check it.
Of the carbon cycle. It's the carbon of our climate. Green carbon does not cause climate change because it can't cause climate change. It already is our climate. It's already a part of our thermostat. Fossil carbon is what causes climate change. Now, climate change is a huge issue. There are all sorts of contributing factors, but this is the big one. Fossil carbon is the main cause of climate change. If we can stop releasing fossil carbon, we can turn the tide of climate change. And in order to do that, we need to understand it. We need to know about its origin, and so we need to go back in time. And we can go back to any number of places in the Earth's history, but we're going to go back and visit the dinosaurs.
Carbon research with your boy John. Check it out.
The first thing we notice when we get there is that there's a whole lot more carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. This is the late Jurassic period, and there's 7 times as much CO2 in the atmosphere as the Earth today. It was hot. But the carbon cycle operated just the way that ours does. First, green plants capture carbon from the atmosphere and the energy of the sun. Then animals eat those plants to take that carbon and energy. Then other animals eat those animals. On up the food chain, until eventually an animal does not get eaten, dies naturally, and then decomposition releases its carbon back into the atmosphere.
So when they tell us to eat dead flesh, or we have to start eating babies to save the planet, they're saying that those are the lower ones on the food chain. And since we're the higher ones, we know that we're eventually going to die, but at least we save the carbon. And then once we die, our carbon goes off, and then it just resets the cycle. They're letting you know that, that I'm not trying to get you to live in fear. that I'm trying to get you to understand that the kingdom of God is at hand, and that we're in a Luciferian satanic society that is now promoting us to become cannibals and promoting to us impossible meats and beyond meats. Now, you must be a very hungry person, or you must not care that much about your health if you're willing to eat something that's called impossible meat. It can't possibly be meat, okay? Especially with the fact that they're trying to tell us that that's a plant-based meat. And we also know the fact that there's been veggie burgers on the shelves for numerous years now. So why would we need a plant-based meat? Why would we need beyond meat or impossible meat? So I implore you, when you get the chance, go check out Soylent Green from 1976, and because that's where we're at. That's where we're at. The ocean's dying, the plankton's dying due to climate change and the sun putting out UV radiation. Okay, that's what was said at the end of the movie. I just saved you watching a 2-hour movie. Okay, now you could watch it for yourself to get more insight to see if what I'm saying is true. But at the same time, you are now watching the death of your planet. For one. For two, they're trying to blame you for putting out the death. Now, I don't know how much you drive. I don't know how much you talk and breathe. But I don't think you could possibly be as much as a factory. I'm just saying. There's no way that you could have put up that much carbon. Okay? So you should be mad that they're trying to say that you're the fault of this. But at the same time, you have Hong Kong rioting. You have Iran rioting. You have Syria rioting. Okay? And then you got a world war on the talks of being unleashed. Okay? So along with the carbon footprint, along with Greta talking about climate change and all this stuff, now we have this on our plate too. Okay? Now, mind you, this guy was talking in September 2017. We are now in October 2019, and 3 days ago, some lady went to a meeting and said we need to start eating babies in order to save the planet.
That's to start the cycle all over again. At least that's how it was supposed to happen.
Anything that comes out of Sweden, Greta came out of Sweden, the microchip comes out of Sweden, 20% of Christian, 20% of the population is Christian. They came out of 20% of the Sweden population is Christian, or have a belief in the Bible, or belief in God, or belief in spirituality. Okay? And now we have a Swedish scientist that's promoting us eating dead flesh. Don't believe it? Please Google it. I would put it on YouTube right now, but we're in the midst of this. But when you get a chance, go to Google and put in "scientist promotes cannibalism," okay? To save the climate. As if that's going to help. The sun, buddy. The sun. Hey, if anyone remembers, I don't know how many people remember, but there was a point in time when I think Bill Gates wanted to block out the sun. And then they had a Simpsons episode where Montgomery or Monty Burns, whatever, you know, the rich guy of Springfield, he blocked out the sun. Okay? So just to let you know that that's an idea, but it's not going to work. All this stuff is irreversible. These are the wraths of God befalling man. There's no way that this is going to be stopped. No amount of shade, no amount of eating babies, cannibalism, drinking innocent blood. None of that's going to help. Okay?
There was a problem. Decomposition stopped working very well. Decomposition needs oxygen in order to function correctly. It's the great recycler. It's what makes sure that what goes in comes back out of the carbon cycle again.
No, you know why decomposition stopped? Because we consume that's supposed to decompose. We send it to our slaughterhouse, or we start chopping it up. So then after that, that main thing that was supposed to release the carbon back into the air, now is what you call it. It's in our guts. We're eating it. So now we became the main lead of the carbon. So once a lot of people start decomposing, then the carbon will start leveling out. That's some wild stuff, isn't it? But if we keep on living, we're going to keep on creating carbon, because we're going to keep on riding our cars. We're going to keep on going to work at our factories, and the planet's just going to keep on heating up, and the sun's going to keep on blaring more and more, releasing more energy. Okay?
But under the right circumstances, in swamps and in shallow seas, zones without oxygen can develop. We see this on our planet today in our swamps and in the algae blooms like the one off the coast of California right now. Algae, green stuff, grows so fast that it sucks up all the oxygen out of the water beneath it. If something dies in that water, decomposition doesn't have the power to break it apart completely. Instead, it sinks to the bottom, partially decomposed, and still full of a lot of its carbon and energy. Well, in the late Jurassic period, the Earth was covered in swamps and shallow seas, and so carbon drained out of the carbon cycle. It formed huge reservoirs of undecomposed organic material full of carbon and energy. The carbon cycle was off balance. Eventually, circumstances would change and the carbon cycle would right itself again, but there was less carbon to go around, and so the carbon cycle had to evolve to a world of less carbon, and that takes about 100,000 years. In the meantime, all of the carbon in those...
And I want to say this real quick. Since my last stream got sniped or cut down, if you're a real viewer and you really like the stream, I implore you to start watching on YouTube. I'm gonna get a laptop. I'm gonna start streaming. This way it's more comfortable. But at this point in time, please get the likes up. If you can, start thumbing the likes up, because there's a lot of haters for some reason, and people don't want to do the research. And now I bring it to Playroom, and then I still get atheists, or I get pagans, or somebody that's not with me, that doesn't agree. And then I'm like, well, is this right? How is this fake news, but you have no problem spending fake currency, a digital dollar? Huh? What's up with that?
Reservoirs slowly sank into the earth, where heat and pressure transformed it into coal, oil, and natural gas. This is our fossil carbon. Fossil carbon is the carbon of fossil fuels. Fossil fuels only burn because the energy stored in carbon molecules by million-year-old plants. Basically, fossil fuel is million-year-old sunlight. Now, the heat and pressure underground concentrate...
Sunlight. That's what's constantly doing this. Okay? Okay? Oh, hey, like I said, I don't know if you was here when I actually read the scripture, but there's plagues that's befalling the earth. These are some of the plagues that's befalling the earth. So I appreciate you typing that. I appreciate you letting me know that you believe what I'm saying, because I'm just showing you. But I'm letting you know where it's coming from too, because that's why at the bottom of the screen it says World News / Bible Prophecy. Because what I do on my stream is I link what I see on the news to the prophecies of the Bible, because at the end of the day, I want the kingdom of God to come. Now, some people don't believe in the kingdom of God, but in the kingdom of God, there's supposed to be no more pain, no more death, no more sorrow, no more crying, none of that. It's all passed away, okay? So now, some people may say, oh no, but we're not going to have emotions. No, it's going to be a peaceful world. Why would we sit there and say that that's a fantasy? Have you become so indoctrinated or so used to this world where you have to pay bills and be enslaved? Huh? The poor apples are enslaved, the oranges, the goldfish, the little stingrays. Now they're over in China or in Japan, they're enslaving or they're putting octopus in captivity. They're chopping them up and making octopus sashimi. Okay? So if you're cool with that, that's why you think that it's a fantasy of what I'm speaking. But if you actually read and do the research, you'll find out that there is going to be a God day. There's going to be a day when we can actually rest. But you have to be deemed worthy, or he has to have mercy upon you for you to find that path. Okay? No, we've done it to ourselves on the ground. Whereas, like he said, through the fossil carbon. But no one can control that sun. And that sun is now releasing UV radiation. That's a lot more energy than it's been producing since the 90s or the 2000s. Okay? So if you're sitting there thinking that this is still some make-believe stuff, I don't know what to tell you. Hey, Festa or Fista, keep on worshiping God. Keep on worshiping your money. Sorry about your God, bro, but we need help. And your money, since money is your God, that's what's been causing all this turmoil upon the planet. Greed and hate and greed, envy, jealousy. You see, greed. That all comes from the root of all evil. So if money is your God, and if you want to hail 666, just know that the judgments of God are now befalling the planet.
That sunlight, so it's really potent and it burns really well. That's why we like it so much.
Hey.
But when we release...
Hold on, listen to that one more time. May the flames be with you, Buddha. May the flames be with you.
Fossil fuel is million-year-old sunlight. Now the heat and pressure underground concentrated that sunlight, so it's really potent and it burns really well. That's why we like it.
You may buy whatever you want in this world, but as you see this world collapsing, do you think that the next world is not going to be more prevailed or more victorious than this one? You got to be out your mind, buddy. They already know that they know that the world to come is going to be better than this world, because they're already causing pollutants. They're already causing devastation to the planet. So now they want to fix it. Now they give you a hybrid car or an electronic car. They should have been gave you this. Faith buys you another day, another. Hey, like I said, I can't force you to do anything. I'm not here to force you to do anything. As you see at the bottom of my screen, I link world news with Bible prophecy, and I declare the kingdom of God. This ain't about forcing anyone to believe anything. If you don't believe it, I always say remove yourself from the stream. But if you do want to sit here and learn something, I'm going to show you. But there's going to be points and times when I touch that Bible and you may say, I don't want to hear it. I'm just preparing you to let you know that I read it. Okay?
Get so much. But when we release that energy and burn that fuel,
you know what? Think about this. You don't believe in God, but do you believe in eating human flesh? Because that is now what's being promoted by scientists and protesters. So eventually our world's going to lean more so towards that. And if you think that that's not true, then you got to think back another I can't say 5 years. I'll say 10, 15 years ago, when we didn't believe that alternative lifestyles would be prevalent. Okay? So if you don't think that this world is changing right before your eyes, I'm sorry about your luck, bud.
Well, we also release the fossil carbon that contains it. And that's the problem. Because if we come back to our Earth today, we'll see that our carbon cycle is balanced the way that it is. The amount of carbon that goes into the carbon cycle comes back out again. It's all...
Yes, Jason. Soylent Green is now a part of the planet. You can go into Senomyx on YouTube. That's SENOMYX. That talks about aborted fetuses being used as flavor additives in certain drinks, like Ocean Spring and Sierra Mist and Doritos. Do your research, please. Check it out. I don't want you to think that I'm trying to promote living in fear. I don't want you to think that I'm promoting propaganda to you. Okay? You can do this research on your own. Now they have on the shelves meatless burgers, impossible meat. Why would somebody eat something called impossible meat? Beyond Meat. Now, what could possibly be Beyond Meat? We already know that How is that Beyond Meat? Because they said that they took a veggie burger and it has the consistency and the taste of meat. Okay, so if you think that I'm reaching with that one, please go on Google and type in "plankton is dying," and you'll see in 2017, around the time that this guy was talking, they were saying that climate change is a danger to the phytoplankton. Okay, so at the end of Soylent Green, he said you got to tell him. And his supervisor or his higher officer said, tell him what? He said, the ocean is dying. Plankton is dying. They're making our food out of people. Okay? So just to let you know, and there's a Swedish professor or scientist out there that's saying that in order to help our climate, we have to start eating or consuming dead flesh. Then there was just 3 days ago some lady that stood up at a protest and said, hey, we need this, we got to move faster than that. We're letting out a lot of carbon. We only have a few months left, 6 to 12 months. We have to start eating babies. This is what she said, okay? So I'm not sitting here just making this up. I'm not trying to get you to live in fear, okay? Eating babies is part of the new world. Hey, as long as you know. But if you're saying hail Satan, I'm kind of fearful for you, bro. I don't know how far you're gonna go. If you're willing to put 666 up in a comment stream, are you willing to taste a baby's cheek? Huh? and then get this. Remember, I don't know if people were here for that, but you also have Sandra Bullock, who's a top actress, and she said that she goes to some physician or she goes to some place to do facelifts, and she gets the foreskin of babies injected into her face. So if you think that God's wrath isn't going to hit this place, I have another thing coming for you, buddy. I'm sorry. If you think that the innocent blood being shed and being drank here in this world is okay, I got another thing for you, buddy. I'm sorry. We should live in fear. Her wrath is coming. Who's her? It's a him, bro. I'm sorry about your luck. Her wrath is coming. Oh man. In fact, that's why men are turning into women. Women are already in control. Her wrath's already here, bro. Oh man. Hey, yeah, her wrath's already here, bro. Earthquakes are going off. Volcanic tectonic plates are shifting. The volcanic activity is increasing. You have displacement of water. You got floods. You got hurricanes. Her wrath's already here. We're waiting for the wrath of God to hit. Okay? Cannibal is old as mankind. Well, then you should be willing to take one of those Impossible burgers. You may be willing to actually eat a baby fetus. You know what? They was already doing that in the Philippines. In the Philippines and in India, and I believe in China, they still do eat their loved ones or something like that. They're cannibals, okay? That's just low on in their society. That's not something that's uplifted, but they still do it over there. There's people over there that do it. So are you willing to do it, knowing that it's been as old as mankind? Yo, that sounds insane. That sounds insane. Maybe because I was raised in American mind ideology, but I just can't see chopping off your finger or your toe and sucking it like it's a pig foot, okay? I can't see it.
All a closed loop. So when we burn fossil fuels and release all of their fossil carbon, it goes up into the atmosphere and has nowhere to go. It can't just join into the carbon cycle again because the carbon cycle is a closed loop. It can only take in so much carbon. And so instead,
cannibalism isn't natural, bro. Caskets are not natural, bro. We're not supposed to bury the dead in a casket. As you hear what this guy is saying, everything is supposed to decompose and go back. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. That's in the Bible. We're supposed to return back to the earth. All of us. So when you put yourselves in these little crypts and when you put your little tombstone, that's you trying to be immortal. You're trying to be immortalized. You're hoping not to be forgotten. But guess what? I live between two cemeteries and they're usually empty. You may see like 3 or 4 cars come out of there, but this thing is packed with dead bodies. How come nobody's visiting all these people? Because they eventually got forgotten. Yeah, Jason. Yeah, that's his name, Yahweh. But I say God because I was raised in American ideology, and it's not even Yahweh. From the research I came across, it's Yahweh, Yahweh. Okay, but I mean, I see where you get the Yahweh, and that's more of that's modern Yiddish, or that's modern Hebrew. Okay. Oh, hey, bud, I'm just letting you know. This is for my stream. This is for everybody that watches me. I got 40 subs. There's only 11 people watching right now. So I don't know where the other 30 people are at. But for them to watch later on, I'm just saying it's not natural. Okay? Hey, Jason, don't come in here and start getting nutty now. I know. Like I said, I've done my research. This is where my ideology came from, okay? Yeah, American ideology. Yeah, you're right. A big LOL. You know what? Okay, I want to go into the next one anyway. Hold on. Oh, yeah, I want to go to Greta. Let's go to Greta, please. Because now they're saying Greta. Oh, wait, hold on. We got to go back to that. We got to go back to that.
About 5 bills and 1.
You are so great. I'm so happy that you really support your video, but it's not enough. You know, even if we would bomb Russia, we still have too many people, too much pollution. So we have to get rid of the baby.
This is viral, okay? Everyone's saying that this chick trolled her, but let's go over here real quick. Let's put in scientists promotes cannibalism. I was telling y'all to do it, but you know what? I'm gonna do it for y'all, just so you can see what time of the world we in, just so you can know that you don't even have to say Hail Satan no more. That's how far we are. I think they're already saying it for you. So you can come in the stream and say it all day. I'm just letting you know the wrath of God is upon this place, and it's not the wrath of her, because we already seeing Gaia's wrath. Okay. Scientist cannibalism. Yep, there you go. Scientist cannibal, right there. And see the bad part, and you know what? The same thing, he said the same thing that old Buddha said, or the same thing Bud said. It's been going on for centuries. We need to turn back in order for our climate to get better. So if you think that that's okay, if you think that that's natural, you know, I'm just letting you know that you don't even have to say Hail Satan no more. That's where we're at. We're in a new world, okay? Let's check out my favorite channel. I implore y'all people to go out there, go on YouTube and check this guy out also. The last one I was watching was Signs and Wonders. This guy is called The Watchman. And they always, with the uptick of everything happening at a faster rate, there's new stuff every day. Every day. So he's putting up constant stuff. All right? Look at this. 53 minutes ago. Okay?
I am asking that if you can, to please help to find...
Pulling back to make way for Turkey's planned invasion of part of northern Syria. Video out this morning shows American forces leaving an area along Turkey's border. Turkey is targeting U.S.-backed Kurdish fighters that have been key American allies in the fight against ISIS. The abrupt change follows a phone call last night between President Trump and Turkey's president.
If you want to talk off stream about this, send me a message. Send me a message and I'll get back to you. I definitely will. Religious racket only work by lying to children. Children have been lied to already. This society is lying to children. That's why they're using Greta right now. But the fact is, see, people say, oh, Greta's paid off. Greta's under George Soros. Greta was put up there in front of the UN. Greta's from Sweden. But you know what? As much as all that stuff may be true, what she said was also true. So as I'm seeing the climate change, as I see the ice shelf melting and breaking off, as I see the displacement of water and the volcanic activity increase, I'm not worried. I'm not worried about what she's doing, okay? I'm listening and watching. That's what it says to do in Luke chapter 21, verse 36, I believe, or 37. Please check it. He said, play some Epstein pedo drone videos. Hey, you know why I don't have to? Because that he's on a minuscule scale to what I'm showing you. I'm showing you global events, things that's transpiring across the world. Whereas you're telling me to show you a pedo. No, why do we need to worry about the pedo? We know that the pedo shouldn't even be in existence. Is that normal? Should we sit there and say, hey, well, since he was rich, he should get away with it? No, he didn't get away with it. He is now no longer on the planet, okay? And we don't have to worry about that, okay? Friday for future. All right. If you think... hey, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Oh, okay. You know what? I was feeling like that too. I kind of feel like he was so rich and he had his own island. They didn't kill him. They put him off somewhere. So, yeah, you're right. But we don't have to play those videos, okay? Hey, get this. Another reason that judgment is befalling the planet is because we're now transforming our children into that. We have grown men going into schools telling stories about how it's all right to be living alternative lifestyle, which is also promoting anti-creation. Okay, because if you're procreative, then you're going to say, yo, that's not right. We need more people. Whereas just like that lady said, yo, we got to start eating babies. So now you're starting to look at the alternative lifestyle agenda as a way for them to start not worrying about the climate, or that was something to promote the carbon footprint. You see, now if we don't create babies, that's what she was saying too. She said, no, it's not enough that we stop having babies. We have to eat the babies we have. That's what she was saying. Okay, so I'm just letting you know that that even though she was saying eat the babies, that the alternative lifestyle agenda is going hand in hand with the carbon footprint. Let's stop making babies because we're harming the environment. All right. Now, another movie that you should go and see that was pretty good and very apocalyptic was a movie called Children of Men. That was about a population that was like sterile, and they couldn't produce no children. Nobody was producing children. Okay? Now, I think in that movie they was telling us that we had to stop having babies to lower our carbon emissions. You see what I mean? So everything that you're starting to see is now starting to open up to you. Okay?
Has reported extensively throughout the region. Holly, the big question, well, first of all, great to have you at the table.
Thank you.
Second of all, what does this mean for the fight against ISIS?
Yeah, what it means is that America's most important ally on the ground in the fight against ISIS looks like it's about to get involved in an armed conflict with Turkey, which is an American NATO ally. So that sounds really bad right off the bat. This is a complicated part of the world. So just for some background, when America decided it wanted to fight ISIS in Syria, it went looking for a partner, and the only people who were ready, willing, and able to fight against ISIS were the Syrian Syrian Democratic Forces, or SDF. But from the beginning of that partnership, Turkey's been saying, America, you shouldn't be doing business with these guys because we regard them as terrorists. Now, the threat now is that the SDF, we spoke to them this morning, they said we are going to fight Turkey. But the bigger risk also is that the SDF says to America, we feel betrayed. You've let us down. Why should we do your fighting, America, against ISIS? We're going to look after our...
Now, if you start looking at these wars as the same way that we look at these alternative lifestyle agenda, okay, the alternative lifestyle agenda is the help the carbon or the climate change agenda. If we stop procreating, then we won't have so much high carbon emissions. Just like that other guy said, we need to start having bodies decay. Well, what happens on the war field? You telling me that some of them people get picked up? Yeah, they do. They get buried. But some of those people are obliterated. They're like destroyed. So their body's going to sit there and, decay or decompose, and their carbon's going to go back into the environment. See? You see what happened there? Now, once you start looking at these wars as actually benefiting nature, now you got to actually say, well, who's triggering these wars? You got to start really thinking about that, okay?
Our interests, not yours.
Well, we all know it's been complicated. Listen, even the administration was divided on whether to withdraw the troops. Right. We remember former Secretary of Defense Jim Mattis resigned over it. So what can you tell us about how the president reached this decision?
So I don't know the nitty-gritty of this decision. What I can say is that Turkey has been pushing the US really hard on this for months, threatening to invade Syria. As you say, this is really contentious within this current administration. Back in December, President Trump said he was going to withdraw all US troops from Syria, and the former Secretary of Defense resigned over that. That decision was later watered down so that US troops went from 2,500 to 1,000.
I'm sorry. I had to pause it real quick. I don't know where you're at. I'm not sure what part of the world you're from. Please get the likes up on the channel, but take a look outside at your window and look at how brilliant the sun is blaring. Just to let you know, climate change is now in effect, okay? There's nothing that's going to change this, okay? It's getting brighter and brighter, all right?
Troops in this part of Syria. What I can tell you is that when I was in Syria about 2 weeks ago, I interviewed the head of the SDF, General Mazloum Kobani, and he told me that when the US military told him that they would be withdrawing, the officers who he deals with said, we don't agree with this. We don't think it's a good decision, but we don't have any choice here.
You know what my problem is? Since Bush, they've been promising to bring the troops home. They said they're going to release the troops. And guess what? We've been through 3 presidents, and all of them have still had this war going on. What's that about? Huh? Somebody tell me about that. Okay. Wars and rumors of wars.
The White House announced Sunday evening the U.S. will stand aside as Turkey's President Erdogan invades northeast Syria. That decision may place Christians and Kurds there in great danger, change of the balance of power in the region, and threaten only the embryonic democracy in the Middle East.
Now look, I don't know how many people are actually in tune and want to do the research and keep an eye out on this stuff, but in 54 minutes, this guy got 2,400 views, 2,400 views. So there's people out here watching, okay?
Police, but also Israel itself. Chris Mitchell brings us the story now from Jerusalem.
This video shows U.S. armored vehicles leaving the area along Turkey's border. The pullout comes just hours after the White House announced U.S. troops would clear the way for an expected invasion by Turkish forces. Turkey's President Erdogan said the assault into northeast Syria was imminent.
We have made our preparations. We have completed our operation plans. We have given the necessary orders. The decision has been made and the process has begun for the springs of peace. And now opening up their path is as near as maybe today, maybe tomorrow.
The decision by Trump allows Turkish forces to enter into the area controlled by the self-administration of northeast Syria, or SANS. This government was formed after the Syrian civil war and has become a democratic entity with broad representation of all its peoples, along with religious freedom.
That sounds very right, but this is a war against mankind. But who's waging the war? Okay? Because who created the nuclear devastation? Who created a weapon of mass destruction? Okay? We can't sit there and blame God. You can't say God's warring with man. No, man's warring with themselves to the point that when God has to answer, oh man, it was a negative entity that came out with a weapon of mass destruction. Now that they have control over that weapon of mass destruction, who are they going to come after? Of course, the people that want to live naturally and they don't have a weapon of mass destruction. So they're going to beat down those people to the point that they're going to be begging for God. God's going to actually come and wipe out the people that's holding these weapons of mass destruction. So you're right. The negative people that's here are warring with mankind to the point that they're going to awaken the spiritual God, and then they're going to try to war with him, but it's going to be futile. Your resistance is futile. Anybody remember the Borg from Star Trek Next Generation? Hey, resistance is futile. You ain't gonna be able to win that war. Everyone already said that. I think that's why they killed Stephen Hawking. He said if there was an alien advanced civilization that came to Earth, it would be like when Columbus landed on the Native Americans. It wasn't good. Okay? So if there's a spiritual God, if there's another realm out there and they go come here and save the planet, as it says in Revelations chapter 21, and there's only 22 chapters in Revelations. The last chapter, the second to last chapter talks about the kingdom of God coming down from heaven. What is the Lord's Prayer? Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. What does that say at the bottom of my screen here? Declaring the kingdom of God. That's what I want, bro. That's what I want. I'm so tired of seeing all this crazy stuff, this war and this money fights and these greed and all this sick stuff. Okay? So I'm not knocking anybody that believes in another God. You can believe in whatever you want to believe in, but in my belief, I'm letting you know that's what I want. Okay? Hey, you know what? You don't have to believe in nukes, but guess what? Russia believes highly in nukes, and in fact, I could pull up. Hold on. Oh wait, yo said, what up, bro? I love you, man. How you doing, man? The Borg was yeah. But you know what? God is gonna be the Borg to the U.S. or to the bad people or the negative people. Hold on. He said that he didn't believe in nukes. Hold on, please. Please bear with me. He said he don't believe in nukes. Hold on. Now, this would either have to be fake news. Let me clear this. Hold on. This way we're on the same field. I implore you to check out Cinemix. It said how to defeat one. Hold on. Oh, okay, there it is.
Российские военные успешно испытали новую ракету системы ПВО. Пуск состоялся на полигоне в Казахстане.
Understand, you don't have to believe in them. They got them. They believe in them to the point that they got scientists making them. Okay, yeah, I won't show you the CGI weapon, all right? Here.
Как сообщили в Минобороны, ракета полностью справилась с поставленными задачами и подтвердила все свои характеристики.
Jason, okay. My God didn't tell the angels to fall. They went out and did their own thing. All this was prophesied anyway. The reason they taught us to be like this was for prophecy to happen, because that gave us free will first. Everyone got what they wanted. The angels got to come down, procreate with humans. The humans got to do whatever they want without acknowledgement of God, and then God's going to come back and set his kingdom upon the earth. Everybody's going to get what they want. Don't you understand? But there's going to have to be a recompensance of what you have done. If you've done something good, you will be rewarded for your works. Where if you cared less and you didn't give nothing, then you're going to be punished or you're going to be chastised for your works. Okay? Yeah, yes he did. He allowed it to happen for prophecy to enact. Okay? This way you know that he's God. He said, I'm going to lay it out like this and you're going to watch it. Okay? Plain and simple. Hey, let's get back to this. I want you to know that this is a CGI and you can put it in yourself. You could put in hypersonic missile. Okay?
Точно поразив условные цели. Новое оружие прежде всего предназначено для защиты российских границ от ударов воздушно-космических вооружений. По словам военных экспертов,
That's fake news, all right? Everybody thinks that everything's fake news nowadays. I just want to make sure you don't think that, now they're speaking Russian in fake news. All this stuff is fake news. But nobody's got a problem with the fact that Facebook wants to come out with a digital cryptocurrency. Fake money. But you want to tell me about fake news. This ain't CGI, bro. I'm trying to let you know.
Ракетам данного класса в мире не существует.
That's destruction. That's destruction with a capital D. Okay? That's destruction with a capital D. There's no way. Hey, in fact, they had a video before this, and I want to see it. They said how to defeat a hypersonic missile. As if. As if. But let's check it out. Releasing from the silo again.
Российских границ от ударов воздушно-космических вооружений. По словам военных экспертов, аналогов ракетам данного класса в мире не существует.
So, in the Bible, let me go back to the Bible, okay? Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 9. It says, For lo, I will rise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country. What north country? What country would be of the north from Babylon? Where's Babylon? Babylon was done away with to some of you people because that was in Mesopotamia, right? But check this out. For lo, I will rise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in an array against her. That's battle formations. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. Does that arrow that's shooting off into the sky look like it's going to return in vain? Ah, we missed. Ah, dang, we didn't hit. Hold on, listen. Then it says, and Chaldea shall be a spoil. Chaldea was the capital of Babylon. We know where New Babylon is. If you don't know where New Babylon is, it's promoting to us now to eat babies. Okay? All right. Check it out. And all that spoil her shall be satisfied, saith the Lord, because ye were glad, because you rejoice, O you destroyers of my heritage. God had a heritage? Hey, yo, Bud, come on. Wait, no. Jason, you're a pagan, right? God had a heritage. You didn't know about that? Oh, man. Hey, God's pissed, okay? Not only is her wrath going to get you, but the wrath of God's coming too. Right behind it. And that's the spiritual, everlasting, eternal wrath. You don't want that. So I think we better start looking at this stuff a little bit more inquisitive and be more less to speak, okay? And watch.
Ракетам данного класса в мире не существует.
Don't get quiet now, buddy. You said that this was CGI. I'm trying to figure out, why would somebody think that I'm trying to promote something that's a lie? What's up with that? Yes, Russia is the king of the North. It said it right there. A country, an assembly of great countries from the northern country. Okay, what's the northern country? I'm just, hey, check it.
Ракетам данного класса в мире не существует.
War is on the horizon. Mass extinction is now happening in front of you. The beginning trails of world war is amongst you. Okay? This is now the time to build up the most beautiful relationship you can with the spiritual unseen God before destruction hits and you become unseen. Okay? Hey, for some reason that dust looks pretty real, and every time I keep hearing that sound blare off, and wait, this fire is CGI too? No, you could believe it or not. I don't care. I'm just trying to let you know. At the end of the day, you don't have to be here in the stream. You already said, "Hail Satan." I already know where you're coming from. So we can have a debate if you want, but there's really nothing to debate. This is happening, okay? Okay, so now Russia's doing CGI. They're making fake news. Who else? North Korea. China had their artillery out. They was doing some kind of parade. They was trying to scare America. All these places are fake. All these places are fake, right? That's what you're trying to tell me. Yo, bro, I don't have to hate. I'm on my stream. I'm trying to get you to understand. And if you don't want to understand, that's up to you. Follow the Georgia Stones protocol. I know about Georgia Guidestones. We don't know who put the Georgia Guidestones up. But guess what? The way that these weapons of mass destruction are being built, and with the war talks that's going on, I don't even think they want the 500 million or 500,000, however many they said. Okay. Hey, like I said, see, what you have to also understand is you have to do your own research. You can check this thing out for yourself. If this looks like it's fake to you, maybe it's because it's being projected to you. So maybe you need to go on YouTube yourself and actually see if it's a CGI flame. But this is viral. This is world news. So if you think people is just going to sit there and say, yeah, we got a weapon that we really don't, and if you think the Bible's going to be talking about arrows that don't exist, could you imagine a group of horsemen or a group of countries gathering their armies together and horsemen and then shooting arrows at Babylon? Just a bow and arrow, like Robin Hood, or like give me somebody Aloy from Horizon. Imagine them just shooting arrows at Babylon, like, okay? That's not the arrows, buddy. I'm sorry. Okay? I don't know how to believe SpaceX. I'm not too sure. It looked pretty real. But then again, that's a work in progress. But this has been happening on the planet since Nagasaki and Hiroshima. So what's going on? You act like that we don't know what nuclear or atomic weaponry looks like. And if you think that it doesn't exist, I'm sorry for you. Okay? There's no reason for me to need to lie. Hey, do you believe in robots? Do you believe in robots? Because they got those out there too. Yeah, I want to see this. I want to see how to defeat. Yeah, look, 1 year ago. Let's see, is this a CGI?
A Russian hypersonic missile has been successfully test-launched from a MiG-31 jet. It took off from an airfield in southwest Russia. The Kinzhal missile is said to travel at 10 times the speed of sound and has a range of 2,000 kilometers. President Vladimir Putin, in his State of the Nation speech earlier this month, described the Kinzhal missile as an ideal weapon. Mr. Putin says it's part of a new stockpile of invincible weapons. He says the missile was developed as a response to the US withdrawal from the Anti-Ballistic Missile Treaty in 2002. The missile launch comes as Russia's presidential elections next weekend are set to return Putin for a fourth term.
All right. Okay. So we're still on that, right? Here. Let's go to, because maybe you're right. Maybe it's fake. But you know what? I'm with Apocalypse on this one. Okay. Hold on. Let's check out Apocalypse. Because he's became my new favorite supervillain. Okay. Oh, there we go. Right there.
Always the same. And now all this. No more stones.
No more stones?
No more spears.
No more spears. Now, what my problem is why would they be promoting a supervillain that doesn't want no more war? What's up with that?
No more slings.
This is all fake? Yeah, this is CGI. We know this.
No more weapons.
No more weapons.
No more systems.
No more economic systems. No more monetary systems. No more nuclear systems. No more filtration systems. Okay, none of that stuff that you gotta pay for, right? Hey, this is where he's at. Okay. No more.
No more superpowers.
No more superpowers. Now, what's a superpower? Now, when I was younger, I was always taught red, white, and blue, right? Superman. What gave him his superpower? Flight, the sun, nuclear, right? So now we have nuclear weapons that dictate who the superpowers are. If you don't have a nuclear weapon, you cannot be content. Well, no, if you don't have a nuclear arsenal, you can have a nuclear weapon, but if you don't have an arsenal, you are not considered to be a superpower. So when you see him say no more superpowers, you may be thinking, oh, he's going to take Wolverine's powers, or he's going to take Professor X's powers, or Magneto. No. This is this is what he means. No more war. Now, what also gets me is the fact that they blacked out everybody's eyes, like they became demonically possessed. Like you see all the demons get possessed. But listen to what he was saying. No more. We're tired of the pain. We're tired of the suffering. And now you'll sit there and look at me as I'm the villain because I'm saying that we need to stop going through all this suffering, right? One more time, because this guy, like I said, Apocalypse is one of my new favorite villains. He wants peace on Earth. He said, release them dang missiles out of them silos.
Always the same. And now all this. No more stones.
What up, Puff?
No more spears.
Peace and love, brother.
No more slings. No more swords. No more weapons. No more systems. No more your superpowers.
So the thing is called "You Can Never Strike a God." Okay, this is the name of the clip. You can go on YouTube, check it out. It's got 25,000 views in 1 year. That's your boy Stan Lee. Stan Lee.
What the hell's going on? Who's turning the keys? The men who greenlit the launch.
Hey, do something!
Well, that hypersonic missile that I just showed you didn't look nothing like these. These are real CGI missiles, so check them out though.
We've lost contact with all tribes on Polaris sites.
The Air Force is reporting the same thing.
So much faith.
So much faith in their tools, in their machines, in their technology. We became so reliant on our technology that our technology can be taken from us.
Russia, China, England, Israel, India. Everybody's got nukes in there. What's the target?
But someone just told me nukes don't exist. Okay, and I just seen Russia pull off their nuke. I seen China show off their nuclear arsenal. People are showing off their nukes now because nuclear talks are now being on the table. Okay, war is now being an option. Okay, and you know what that goes back to? Our president at the moment, he said nothing's off the table. So that means that he's willing to press the red button, just to let you know, okay?
Where are they going? Up. Straight up. Heavens! What? Destroy it! Destroy everything! Destroy Supreme Brother!
Now either way, he just sent all the nukes off the planet, out of the atmosphere. Now, that's what I'm saying. That's where we would be promoting. These systems are what's controlling everyone. That's what puts people in fear. That's how we have legislation. That's how we have all this stuff. Okay? Yeah. Yes, thank you, Puff. Yes, arrows are spoken of in the Bible, and they are missiles. But someone just told me that Bibles are... no, he told me that nukes are fake, right? Oh, see? Yeah, there you go. He's right above you. You see? Nukes are real. He sells them on eBay, right? You see? So he doesn't believe. He doesn't believe, but I could show him, but he's still not going to get it. So it's okay. It's okay. Now, like I said, Apocalypse has became my new supervillain of choice. Yeah, I don't know if you chose Venom, because Venom's a possession, okay? Venom's a black demon that eats. He's cannibalistic. You see at the end of I'll eat you. You'll be rolling down the block like a turd in the wind. You remember that? You can fire your arrows from the Tower of Babel. Tell him, Puff. That's right in the Bible. Hey, get this. If the Bible's so fake, why they put so many movies with it? Huh? Why do they know that these missiles are considered to be arrows? And why did he say, fire your arrows from the Tower of Babel, but you can never strike a god? Get it? That's it. Hey, you know what? I'm going to end this out with the Lord's Prayer. I hope y'all all get together. And if you really like my streams, I implore you to come to my YouTube. But let's end this out on, to our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For the kingdom, power, and glory is yours forever and ever. I love you all. I hope you get your minds right and start looking and doing the research for yourself. God bless you.